Hiya guys, I'm known as Raz Does Them Art and my name is Katrina. In this video I'm not sure how it's going to go. I want to be talking about my spiritual journey and kind of like the magic within people, because I believe as the human race there is a lot more to us that we don't know or don't understand, or certain people's brains are not able to work it out or even think about it and take it on board, because in general we only use a certain amount of our brain as a whole. So I think there's a lot more going on in the world that people don't know, and I think as generations have gone on we've lost a lot as well, because I think some people do read people's vibrations and people's energies, and we sometimes maybe need to go back to this. So at the moment, going back to myself, with my spiritual journey, I'm trying to let it take me a bit. I've always been interested in the unknown, the spiritual side of things, that I always felt there's something more. I don't know if this is just, I know there's other people who think this, but I always felt a bit different, a bit unique, not like I think differently as it is with my dyslexia, so maybe that puts me a bit more in the visual category due to my art. I do as well, but I always try and do like positive stuff with that and link it with spiritual stuff now. And I think what made it rush forward even more so was due to lockdown, because just before lockdown I split up from a relationship, then moved back, and that made me do a lot of self-healing, self-growth and self-development. And when you're doing stuff like this, you look a lot within, don't you? And you have to think a lot about yourself and why you do certain things, and it makes you wonder a lot about the universe and the world. And whilst this was going on, I did a lot of meditation, what I still do now, did a lot of journaling. I don't know if you guys have heard of I can't remember the name of the book now. It's like an art therapy book. The Art Journal, maybe it's just called the Art Journal. And it basically, you don't have to be an artist using this book, but it makes you think about a lot of things, and you have to do a lot of course, journaling, and a lot of just looking within yourself and development on yourself. So that took a little while. You have to take time out and do this, of course, because anything like this kind of thing takes a lot of time on your journey. But it is rewarding at the end of the day, because it's something about yourself that you are growing. Because if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after other people, I always feel. Yeah, so I started doing a lot of that, and whilst I was doing this, I believe, came across one of my spirit guides. In a meditation I saw a deer with a stag. I mean, I'm really into wildlife, animals and creatures in general. I just feel they just get a certain vibe off me, and they're always so like warm towards me, and they just feel that I'm no threat to them, I think they feel. And as well, especially with wildlife, I feel I seem to attract that as well. If I'm out in the garden, I always find a bird will come next to me, and a robin or anything really. It just seems to appear. Butterflies always appear around me. What people always take the mickey out of me sometimes and call me Snow White, because I seem to just be out there. And one time I was out and I was doing my job, and I called out to this eagle. I was just like messing around like I do. Next minute it starts swooping down, so that did freak me out a bit, so I'm never going to do that again. But yeah, so wildlife does seem to always link with me. So yeah, in this meditation state I saw this stag, and it came over and obviously looked at me, and I was like, okay. But so I just went with it. I don't think at the time it told me anything though. And then I think a few days later I was in bed, and then I woke up and I thought, it didn't freak me out because it's kind of in a dream state but not. I swear I saw the stag was coming through my TV, like its antlers were coming through the TV. If you say this to people it would freak them out, But me being me, I just take other things on board. As long as it doesn't freak me out too much and it scares me. Because there was an incident when I was younger, I had an incident where, let's go back a second. When I was younger, I did have a death in my family, what made me, it puts your life upside down when someone close to you dies, of course it does. But when you're at a young age, it really does makes you think about things in life and why does it happen and what happens and all this kind of thing. And of course that if death comes into your life, then it's going to change how you think about things. So I was always thinking about that anyway, but then I came into a situation where apparently I did see stuff when I was younger and I was telling my parents about it, and now I can't remember quite that because I was too young, but there was a stage where I did see something what I do remember in the wardrobe, like faces on it. And nowadays I can't watch horror movies with faces, they just freak me out. I mean, it's nothing really, really scary and nothing too much, but it was that much that I kind of didn't want that anymore. So I turned off that switch for a long time and thought, I don't want to be part of this. It is too scary. And I've always been into fairies. I just love anything mystical and magical and anything to do with creatures and the unknown, I guess, again. And the whole thing about something is there that not everyone can see and it only lets certain people see it. I still haven't seen any fairies, so I'm just going to put it out there. And if I do, I wouldn't tell you because you're not meant to let people know really, because you have to let them be who they are in their own being. I've been doing a lot of research on it. So yes, so I've always been interested into this, but I kind of switched off for a while. And lately, or going back a bit, so I thought, okay, I want to get back into this. So I do some paranormal investigations as well. I do a lot of stuff like that anyway, because I find it interesting. And I'm always looking for new things to just link and see what happens. But you always have to protect yourself because, like anything, there's always going to be good and bad. There always is. So always remember this and be careful with anything with this kind of stuff. But going back to me, yeah, so I saw all these faces and then I turned that off for a while. But lately over lockdown, like I said, I did a lot of self-growth, self-worth and all that jazz, what you should always have. And from this, then I was like, I'm going to need to flow with this a bit more and try and, because I've always been one of these people, if someone walks into a room or I walk into a room, I can read the room. I can tell the environment, tell if these people are friendly, not friendly, if there's a certain vibe about them, if something's wrong about them, I can normally judge. If something is going on in their life, they normally tell me without even me asking. Or even if at the bus stop, someone will come up to me and just tell me their life story. When I don't always need to know the life story because I don't know them. Sometimes I do put headphones in when I go for walks and stuff because I can't always listen to all this stuff. As much as I want to, it is draining. And I've learned now, you need to make sure your energies are at top level. You make sure you stay grounded, otherwise you're giving so much energy to other people, there's not enough to have for yourself. But that has taken time to learn this, really. So now I'm getting into my, like I say, I do my spiritual art side, what I'd love to do more of, and I'm doing a lot more of learning about crystals, what I've always been in the background, but I'm trying to learn a lot more. But I think it's difficult sometimes when I'm dyslexia to read a lot. So I kind of use a lot of my own intuition with my tarot cards. I do my oracle cards. I've brought some decks and been given some decks that are, I feel, more personal to me, or they spoke out to me. Like I love the art designs of them, or if they've got, I don't know, I can just feel from them if they're really cool cards, or if they link to me. I mean, everyone's not going to like the same tarot decks, are they? Because that is just your own personal opinion. But you can feel if a tarot deck links to you or an oracle deck. I mean, I've got an art deck, well, of course, being an arty, which is really cool. Well, it's oracle one, and then I've got my other tarot cards at the moment, what are animals again, so they're like wildlife animals and like spiritual animals, and as well I've got my other one what is more crystal based, and the colours are amazing in it. So I think it's because the artwork with it links with me more, and as well if you can relate to it, and I'm trying to learn with that, and they come with books so you can be, I'm doing self-taught and I'm learning other stuff and getting books from here, there and stuff on the internet, and learning from other people who inspire me to try and develop this and see where it goes, basically, because I'm just interested in all of it. Like, I'm interested in like people's auras. I can't see people's auras, but that would be amazing. I mean, when I was younger, well, I still do it now, if you put your hand up, you're meant to be able to see in front of you, like see the aura stuff around it. Well, I can see the outline, but I can't always see the colour. So it'd be interesting, actually, if anyone watching this, if they can see what colour I am, and put in the comment box and get involved as well, because yeah, it's always interesting stuff like that. And as well, I can see, and I hope that I do not sound crazy saying this, but I've always been able to see, and these little, they're not in my eyes because I know that, they're little, like they float around in the air, like from trees or from, it normally is from trees because I think because they're bigger, you see them float off the trees and go into the trees. So I don't know if it's the energy from the trees. I mean, it's really, you have to focus on it, and it normally has to be like a clear day to be able to see it. But I think it's like meant to be the energies coming off the trees and going into the trees, and because everyone's meant to be connected to everything, aren't you? So it makes sense in a way to me that that is true. But I really like amazed by certain people how they do connect to, like, be able to connect to spiritual stuff so quickly. I mean, when I meditate so quickly, and just relax and turn it on and off now quite easily, but I'm not at the level that I'm able to hear things, really. I wouldn't say. I think I'm more kind of feel with something, if with the cards, if they're saying something to me. But it's something I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of my art stuff, my positive jars, my NFT stuff. I'm linking it with this because this is me as a whole. I think first time in my life with my journey, I am into the unknown. I don't quite know where I'm going or what I'm going to be doing. What is a bit freaky and scary, because before I've always had a pattern of what I was doing. Of course, you go to uni after you finish college. Obviously, I took a different route because again, I only found out dyslexia when I was at uni, and then I went off to do other art jobs, and then I was a Lego designer at Legoland. So then it's an art job again. But then I was there for a while and I was following the path like everyone does in your career, and I just felt something was not right. I loved the people there, still do, love the company, love everything about it. There's nothing I could say wrong, but I just felt that something was missing, and just felt something wasn't linking to what I needed and wanted in my life. I mean, I've always got close family around me, and at the moment I'm meeting, because I moved back to a different area than I was, meeting new friends and stuff and getting out there more and being more social, and because I like to be out and about, and I love my own space as well. So it's the best of both worlds. Because I think you need to love yourself to love others. That's the other thing as well. At the moment I am single because I just felt there has not been the right person that I want to develop and have in my life completely at the moment. And I'm happy about that. I mean, you don't have to have someone to be complete. You can be complete, and if someone comes along, then it's extra bonus. But I want a connection that is deep. I don't want a connection that is just fun, because I can have fun on my own. I can do my own things. I don't need an extra person to do that. I mean, I want fun, like, I mean fun as in, like, anyway, I don't know how to explain. But I mean, like, of course you go out and have fun with your friends and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I want something deeper if I'm connecting with someone in a soul connection, because I think you should. And I think you should know your own worth. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a chit chat video and me going off on one a little bit about my spiritual journey. If you've got any questions, do say in the comment box. And I am on TikTok as well, where I do my art stuff. So go and check that out if you want. It's Raz Does Some Art. And I have got a little shop that I sell my art stuff and my manifesting jars, and like real jars and like fabric jars as well that you can buy, and you just put up and you can talk to them and things. Yeah, I'm getting more into my what I find interesting, like witchy stuff, because I did go for, as well, I'm chucking this down there, I went for like a swim when I was up north in the North Sea. It was freezing, but it's like so liberating, I think that's the word. And yeah, so I'm just finding everything so interesting and learning new things, and I find it interesting how with the witch side of things, like obviously the light witches, the good witches and all that kind of stuff, how it's more about being one with the universe, isn't it? So I'll leave you with that and see you guys later. Stay fabulous, uniquely you.